what's going on, y'all? It's J Smo Reviews here, back at it again with another video, man. Bringing you guys, as promised in the Gnome 14 recap, the Rum Nitty versus Loaded Lux bar for bar breakdown. Detailed review here. 3 watches have been done. 1 from in the building, which as I said in my last video, but I had the honor of watching this battle live, and it was absolutely incredible. Probably, I would say, might be the best battle I've watched live. Got to see Rock and Twerk live. Got to see NWX versus EFB. I've seen a couple, very up there battles live, and this is up there with the best of them. And then 2 more watches. 1 just to enjoy it again, and then a 3rd one to take the notes here and really break it down to give you guys this review. And it just goes to show how good of a battle it is. We're going to go into details really quick here, but it just goes to show how good of a battle that it is that I've watched the battle already 4 times, you know what I'm saying, in such a short amount of time. And I say 4 because I'm going to watch it again right after I post this. That is how much I've enjoyed this battle. So without further ado, man, let's get right into the first round. Starting out, Nitty won the coin toss, deferred for Lux to go first. Lux opens a little funny Friday reference opener, Red, what you got on my 40. And then he gets pretty quickly into, he's going to use this angle real quick here, but it is going to come back in strong fashion later in this battle. And it's a little money angle, saying, you're safe haven the waste spaces. Probably you was talking dirty to me in them spaces. So he starts kind of, belittling Rum in that aspect. He mentioned something about money early on. So he's getting at something, planting the seeds. Ends that with more to the clean scheme. Now we clean in house. Had a reference after that as well. He is the ice cream, Ben & Jerry's rum raisin. I thought that bar was dope. He is the measurement scheme. And he has so many of these little schemes that get hidden, right? And that you have to go all through the watch to get that little 3 or 4 reference one, the centimeter, quick, before he gets into the Jamie Foxx show bar. So, he's hitting. And so far, something I'm going to say now and many more times in this video, he's not really wasting words. It's either, a word is either there, something for the rhyme pattern, and if not, it's too correlating to the schemes. I know some people could be against word association. Most schemes aren't impressive, but when you get to this level where the words are kind of tying together like cursive, you know what I'm saying, damn near, you have to give credit. It speaks to his rapping ability as well, which we'll talk about all through the battle. Then he has his only angle I didn't like. He's going to touch on it another time here, and it's kind of going at Nitty for the Walmart angle, obviously famously done by T-Top. He has a bar referring to, the bear in the Walmart vest. So, cool. I just... not the freshest angle, and I thought he kind of did more comedy stuff with it rather than maybe some of his harder hitting bars, but trust me, it is the only angle that I was not a fan of that Lux pretty much picked in this battle, or one of the few, you know what I mean? So then from there, he is those punches don't give us answers, River Dancer. You're going to have to kick it up a notch. Fire. I thought that was haymaker level. Little trucking scheme to follow with that, to offload it with the boxes. He put about 6 or 7 references really quick in there. The BBL doctor, I'm in here cutting ass. Fire. And then his best, I don't know, he's got 2 bars here at the end of his first that I think are his best bars of the round, but he had this whole, beautiful rhyming setup. You've probably seen the clip, or you'll have to see it for yourself. I couldn't do it justice here, just in the bar for bar review, but the alien can't show God a new miracle, a new miracle, a new miracle. The whole way he led up to that was insanity. I actually didn't like the maternity bar right after, but right after that, every killer next to me ain't adjacent, and he had the hockey mask reference before. Clearly, what I'm saying, Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees, incredible, man. Another haymaker to end there. And then has have a talk to him, like that bathroom mirror, you know what I'm saying, having that talk with yourself in the mirror. I thought that was slick. Call for somebody got to move the body like Shakira. So he's hitting these pockets at the end, man. Big fan. I thought Lux had a very good first round. And then it's on Nitty in the first, and he starts comedy-wise too, does a Lux impersonation of his own into this suicide scheme. We're so kind of matching Lux a little bit with that, little quick scheme, right? He had the noose, kick the chair, suicide, jump off the roof. Pastor choked up reading Genesis 1. That's all first verse. I thought that was fire. A lot of flipping of famous Lux lines Nitty did in this battle, and for the most part, thought he was hitting with them. The highlighter, go through my sentence like a highlighter. You can mark my words. Dope. Let it fly, overloaded like a Learjet. Haymaker. And this is where it starts in the first round for Nitty. The birthday candle bar. He only come out once a year like a birthday candle, and I've been putting on for ages. crazy. Next time, talked about him leading Deontay Wilder out to the ring. Next time a boxer walked out by you, it's a pallbearer. I thought that was dope. Then a little bit that substance, man. A little bit of substance here from Rum Nitty. I look in the mirror sometimes, like, look at you emotional, because I know I done lost people, you know what I'm saying? Like, a reference to, Lux's classic saying what he was telling Calico. And I'm saying, and he said, now all I got left is a photo on the wall, the large picture. Once again, flipping some Lux lyrics back on him, while referring to some loss that he's had in his life, loss of his mother, a couple other people. So I thought it was a really incredible opener to his round. From there, the drug mule, you're going to get this work in person. Still flipping Lux's lyrics back at him in abundance here to start the round. This can go down to the wire like electrical tape. Cool, but was just the setup for, they say, where everything healthy at in a vegetable state, which was a bomb. Performed very well by Nitty as well. You do all that dressing up, but still can't hold it down, like Marilyn Monroe talking about Lux's, all of his different outfits that he's worn to battles. The massage therapist, he's an tension seeker. I thought that was crazy. Pull up off the corner like a TV dinner, crazy. They get shadow boxing confused with airstrikes. I thought that was one of, kind of almost went by slick, but one of the better written punches, harder hitting punches I thought of his entire first round. The dice loaded, I made my point. Little phone carrier scheme in between as well. He had the jab overhand concept where he kind of was like leading with jabs, then his overhand bar, which I guess he was setting up to be the haymaker, is I could picture loaded in the clouds like storage backup, which is fucking crazy. We jumped a little bit too early in the room, I believe he says, even right after, so kind of didn't land with the authority I think it was intended to, but still, man, I mean, as you could tell, it's just non-stop heavy punching, and he's also rapping through it very, very well. And Lux is, one of his hype men, people in his entourage, kind of says something, and I don't, this was not a rebuttal by Nitty, but it ended up fitting perfect to the round, as he's like, your homeboy's being loud, and kind of points off to his homeboy, and says, you better, if he keeps talking, well, we'll put him in the water, somewhere down by a reef flux, so you better tell him to keep it down. It's one of those, it kind of like he had versus Clips a long time ago, the Busta Hype Man, like Spliff Star, where it just looks like a rebuttal because someone kind of jumped in and fed into the setup to it. So even that was crazy. The judge bumped it up, gave him Braille. He bumped it up to a death sentence. Slick writing. The watered down rum still got loaded. I thought that was dope. And then he hits a couple more big ones at the end, man. He has the get dog tied up in front of the family like an animal balloon. Haymaker. The sobriety test bar was dope. He can only function in his mind like Ray's boom boom room. So he's got one more in here. How's your your people supposed to get the large picture when you can't even get uploaded? So as you can tell here, I really like Lux's first. I think Lux had a very good first round. I understand people that like Lux's first, but I think Nitty's first is by far his best round in the battle. An all-time Nitty round at that, and I just feel like this is where I had said in the keys to victory, win the Haymaker War, and I feel like this is one where he just consistently was having the peak bars that he needed, and then also obviously his longest round of the battle at that, which they had long fucking rounds the entire battle, but Nitty's is by far his longest round wrapped as well. I had Rum Nitty clear 1-0 going into the second round. And this is where we go back to Loaded Lux, top of the second. He is the Steve with the baldy bar, kind of like, it kind of like rubs Rum's head. It's kind of funny. He is the Nitty impression of his own, where I don't think he put too much enthusiasm into it, but he did have a Ghost Rider bar in there that I thought was super slick. I like that. From there, he goes into the Penny Shack. Penny Hardaway Shack kind of little magic scheme, played in Orlando, obviously, when events in Orlando, so I like that. The Bum Nitty, Rum gotta be short for Rummage kind of flip. My guy Bum, love Bum, Battle Rap Bum on Twitter, man, one of my closest, peoples in this culture, so kind of funny, to hear the name mentioned, although it's just for the concept here. He is the no Nitty concept. I don't know if it was kind of... Some of these bars, even to now, I didn't fully catch. So maybe there's something that I think it was kind of like no Diddy, but no Nitty is what he was going for in a sense. So a little bit of a weird one. I do think that Lux started his second a little, not like bad, but just, as opposed to the bombing we just watched, a little just like going with the flow. And that did not last for long. As he goes right into this kind of shooting the breeze, it was like this cool scheme. He had like 5 different references, all like chill, cool, shooting the breeze. It was like a wind scheme, I guess you can say. And then he angles. This is where the second, and this is why people are telling you this is an all-time round, is because it is. The angles he gets into here, man. Angling, talking a little bit about Nitty being on King of the Dot in his career, definitely starting before Smack, which is very true. And then the click hopping, because I'll tell you what, man, Nitty has been a part of quite a few different groups, and he goes on to name like 4 or 5 of them. Been on more crews than white women in their middle ages. Goes into the twerk, stealing twerk style. Only got into it for a pocket, obviously, in a battle recently with Ilmac and Nitty. That was a huge part of his attack in that battle. Really only touches on the topic for a second. But it's the way he's rapping through the angle. And this is why, I mean, like, Lux is probably the best pure rapper we've just ever had in battle rap. And what he's doing pretty much from that twerk angle in the second to this run that we're about to talk about, it's all-time ability. You know, he goes into the drum scheme. Fire, the drum scheme that he went into. With the bass, kicking it to the bass, you ain't a real stepper. Like, you know, when you step into the drum beat, like, that shit was crazy. The alien gonna up it, fuck it, let's get abducted. Haymaker. We rumbling, this humbling, the whole pocket goes into the little pizzas, the brick oven pizza scheme, which was crazy. The cool runnings bar, dog. Oh my god. The bobsledding, it's like bobsledding because we're talking about JC, Danny, kind of referring to the whole group writing together, saying it just like when y'all, it's like bobsledding. When it's time to write, y'all go and write together. I butchered that the fuck up, but you've seen the bar, you know that it was a haymaker. Keeps rapping, your homie's just gonna stand there and blend in with the production. Crazy. The computer scheme afterwards, just threw that one in there real quick. And then maybe the bar of the entire battle. He up here flipping names but can't flip no money. Super haymaker. And he had landed haymakers all the way up to that, but it felt like this whole middle portion of his round led up to just this fucking explosion at the end. The Wu-Tang, you ain't a killer bee, he ain't a killer bees, thought that was cool. And then Rum looking like the last call for alcohol bar, you know, kind of joking on him. Thought Lux is second, man. The peaks he was able to hit, and he's doing it with rapping ability, but he just landed 4, I mean, like, super haymaker punches. And he's really, that's what he had to do, match in that bar-for-bar quality. And he did that and then some in the second. And I like Nitty's second, too, man. I thought the Brandon Lee, it wasn't even, I thought Nitty started his second very good. The Brandon Lee, it wasn't even supposed to be loaded. Talking about he could have battled Mook instead. That was crazy. It could have been Murdon Cam, but it is what it is. So 2 crazy flips to start. The Gray Matter, I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. He's punching to start his second. The Witchesire Saw. I can't even say what's at stake. The Holiday goes into a little pocket here about, you know what I'm saying, fathers leaving their children. Holiday Heart. I broke the cycle. That was crazy, dog. The Iron Peel. It's a supplement. Dope. And this is where I think the rest of his round is pretty good. Like, it's good rap and there's good punches here, but it's not enough, you know what I'm saying, to close the gap. We'll go over the bars. My homie's getting caught on cam and hoping that it's not rewind and more to find on, like, the security footage. That was dope. The backwards word scheme is ridiculous. I'll probably put up, maybe I'll put up somewhere around here, like, the words that he actually flipped backwards throughout the scheme. But the highlight was, like, 7 or 8 different words that ended up, or phrases ended up going either way, going to show that he definitely in this battle was able to, like, up the pen game, because that's the second or third, like, really out there scheme that he's kind of tried. My homie's doing sets in jail, like a nail tech. Crazy. The Smarty, it just looked like pills. Sell to the plasma center, like screen mirroring. Sell to the plasma center. The highest point, I'm a punching machine. I thought that got slept on. That was good. He had a signature move, you know, get off the ropes. They got to put V12 in the search engine. The Atom, you make up everything. So that, which I thought was fire too. But that's, I mean, listen, very respectable second. Like, you're hearing me fire off bars. It's just the level of battle that it is. But I'm really, you guys know I'm big on, like, peaks and rounds, especially if it's like a battle that in a theory is close all the way around. But similar to how I thought Nitty just was reaching those higher peaks in the first and took it clear, I thought Lux returned the favor with just as good of punching, and it was 1-1 clear going into the third round. This is the championship round, right? This is what it's all about. Is you have a battle that's got 4 great rounds overall, but 2 special rounds. So we already know where we're at when what needs to happen here. And it starts out on Lux. He starts out. Listen, like I said, couple bars. Even for how much I watched, I still don't get. So I'm gonna tell you, at the top of this third, he does a mix of like brings the Walmart thing up for like this shift, kind of mopping little scheme into a restaurant scheme, into like a Wi-Fi scheme. And I don't know what the top secret bar was at the end. Man, he's a genius, man. Maybe it's just all going over my head, but it was a mix of like those 3 topics to start his third. From there, kind of talks down to him, and I think this is the round where he really utilized kind of talking down and really, talking to Rum a little bit. You know what it's like to tell a chick I'm battling Nitty. I tell her I got Hitman after that. She's like, who? She's like, who after that? Something like that. So kind of belittling, like, I'm telling people they don't even know that I'm battling you. You're bringing down my stock. The I dare ya idea. I dare ya. The way he pronounced it, it's supposed to be idea and I dare ya. I thought it was cool. The Ozempic, I won't lose it bar, dope. The smoking scheme, I thought that was dope. The metaphysical, the symmetry to the imagery, draw the line, and I'm out front like a widow's peak. Crazy. So now we're right back into bombing. The El Chapo under the wing bar, I thought that was dope. The Rum put the genocide. This would be worse than Israel and Palestine. Thought that was dope. The battling, kind of this is where he starts working the battling down angle, kind of talking about, and this is one of his better angles that I thought he picked in the entire battle. Not just the money angle we talked about earlier with the flip no money, right? How crazy that one was. But this whole, kind of career management angle that we knew was coming, but kind of a valid angle in a sense. And I thought that he executed it well. You're out here bleeding the benches. Why would I give a shit? Kind of the bench warmers sucking teeth kind of reference he did in there. And it goes into this basketball scheme, talking about the playoffs, and this will be a season ender. So to really, I can't go word for word and break it all down, right? But to sum it up, in terms of Rum, kind of battling down. Yeah, you're battling. You're the champ here, but you're not always, as Lux always talks about. It's about who you fight, right? So it doesn't matter what the bench warmers say to me. I'm gonna take who I'm gonna take, and this is gonna be a season ender for you. So love the way he tied that all together. One of his absolute best schemes in the battle. He had this angle, which it a few references that once again goes into a bigger kind of scheme and concept here, but he has this thing about Rum backing out. I don't remember Rum backing out on too many battles, you know what I'm saying, or known for that by any means. So that didn't hit for me, but then he got into the you gotta ask Smack, and I tell Smack what I need permission. Asking for permission, what I need permission, stupid. And once again, kind of working that money concept there and the difference that they have and kind of the weight that they hold. I thought that it's really a genius angle to take, and I thought he did it to the highest level while still being lyrical. Goes, kind of miss hustle for a second. Heard you ate Miss Hustle out, even on her swoop, and that more of a funny bar than anything when he's in the camera, like chill, gang. So just Lux for you, man. Being a real showman. The walk him down, it's motion sickness. The whole pocket in that was nasty. Tonight your bitch gonna talk to you like an older sister is crazy. This is very crazy. Tell Tough Hustle to hold her liquor. Fire. Then they mocking him. He gets in this flower scheme at the end. I'm like lightheaded talking about all these bars, man. Mocking how Rum was giving him his flowers after Gnome 9, and then saying, you gave me my flowers, but it was with hidden colors. Like, I like that. And just the aggression that he's rapping with, man. It's peak Lux. It's peak Lux. The Rosa Parks bar kind of snuck in there. I don't think a lot of people caught that one. He's rapping really crazy at the end of his third. I don't think he really landed. It was just for a little section at the end of his third. He didn't land anything too crazy. He had a Diddy bar that was like, okay. But it's just, after a masterclass like that, he's just kind of flowing to the end of it. You know what I mean? And overall, another great round. Better than his first. Not as good as his second, in my opinion, which is incredible. But, I mean, not that far off either. An incredible round in its own right. And that leaves it bottom of the third on Rum Nitty. And he starts out, and I'll tell you what. I said I didn't want to see Nitty angle in this battle. However, he angled, and it is probably some of the best angling he's ever personally executed in his career. This bitch is going to need to go back to being popped like Mrs. Doubtfire. I thought that was dope. And then he gets into dodging opponents. Offset you can't offset that you fathered the culture. You know, the Offset's child's name is Culture. You're like that dad that came back when his son got drafted to the league. I like that. And he didn't hang on it too long, but I thought that was a really good reference that he worked up to. And then into another angle of, for someone that's always saving, did you try to save any of us top battlers when we knew we were damaged? Talked about Surf a little bit and said, how many of us you try to save? It's crazy. He was paid in full. Like, you would think someone that's paid in full like Ace would have tried to save him from the Rico. One of Nitty's best bars of the battle, probably one of the best angles he's executed. I thought the Rico bar was crazy. When we never seen you in the same room with your son, like Mama Pain, that shit I thought was crazy too. Once again, starting a round, Nitty started every round really well. I thought all of his round starts were good. Shall I Proceed? Bronny James Proceed. Thought that was crazy. The Charleston White Farrakhan, I was wondering. I thought that was dope. He is the George, kind of, why didn't you march, for George Floyd? Our people were in dire need. Thought that was a dope bar. So really taking multiple angles here, and this is kind of that angle punching where he's going from topic to topic, kind of trying to do a character assassination of Lux, touching, a few different things related to him, maybe not actually being this person he represents here, over here, and over here. But then from there, he's the Pursuit of Happiness bar. He is the Chadwick Boseman. I don't know what the Black Panther was on stage for, kind of making fun of Lux's outfits again. Thought that bar was dope. The You Want to Be Downloaded bar kind of has this like angle, kind of referencing that Lux might be playing for the other team. And even though the kind of silliness, the angle he brought up, he does have this one bar out of it. Everything healthy down low, like a food pyramid. That was, even though I didn't really like the angle to it, I did think the wordplay there was crazy. These guns not even allowed pop, like these silencers. Thought that was dope. And then he has a pocket leading up to a bar that, another like really great bar here for me. Wrestling bar, of course, too. But the mama at the funeral, like Not My Baby. At the tombstone, drop to a knee like the Undertaker. Fire. The lottery ticket bar was dope. Everything spilling out healthy like a cornucopia. Fire. Just like Lux, I do pull-ups at the stoplight. Fire. The Apollo, I had to look this one up. The Apollo stump, Lux is in the trunk. Apollo stump, Lux is in the trunk. He ends on a little bit of a heater there, man, and wraps up what was another really good third round from Nitty. I'd say in terms of order of rounds from Nitty, his first was by far his best. I think his second is his weakest. His second is still a very strong round, but I did prefer his third over his second. I see some people too talking about he had a short round. They just had long rounds in general. His third is actually about 4 minutes and 40 seconds. For the most part, they were rapping like 6 minutes plus for the rest of the battle. But not a short round, just shorter compared to the rest of this absolute masterpiece, man. And I think the third is a very contested round. I'm seeing people that are, just calling it in a million different ways. There's war in the streets now with people arguing. But I thought that Nitty does some of his best angling there, right top of the first. And what I saw live, and why live I did have Nitty winning 2-1, is kind of, I thought those angles stuck with me, those key lines. And I thought, once again, he had key lines at the bottom of the third. But you look at what Lux did, he also has those haymakers to match, right? And then, of course, there's the rapping ability in itself and just the level that he's delivering the material at. So, you know what I'm saying? With everything added up, my winner for the battle. I got Lux edging the third round, man. I got Loaded Lux winning the battle 2-1. First round, obviously, clearly going to Rum Nitty. Second round of the battle, clearly going to Loaded Lux. And then the third round, like I was kind of referencing there at the end, man, I think that Nitty, content-wise, was right there with him in terms of the creativity of the wordplay and in terms of those punchlines and what we know. And I think he even added substance. You know what I'm saying? There's great angling in that third. So still a very great round. But not only is Lux also matching him in that wordplay department, it's got to be just the difference in that rapping ability, which is the one advantage that I think overall, even though Rum is a good rapper in his own right, it's the one advantage Lux has over everyone. Is always going to be a big advantage for the most part. It's just the way symbolically is not the word, but like with syllables, the way he's able to structure it. And what he did in the second, the third, he's got rhyme patterns, multis that he's holding for over like 4.5 minutes. that is godly raps. We don't, people use words like that. They're kind of glazing, you know what I'm saying? They're saying things, but it genuinely is, dog. Like, it is unrealistically difficult to rap to that level and then have all the words matter or mean something, not too much just dead space, man. Every word meaning something. And that's why this one to me is an all-time classic. It's so many different ways. It's one of the best known main events in history. It's one of the best just bar for bar battles that you're going to find in history. And for two guys that have quite a few classics to their names, it automatically goes up into some of the better battles that they've had. I think this is probably the second best Lux I've seen. I'd still say the Hollow Lux is up there a little bit because the angling in that battle and just the conversation they had. It'd be hard for a battle to ever meet up to what Lux and Hollow was, but this one is a very special one in its own right. I also think this is one of the best Rum Nitties across three, like in terms of across 3 rounds, my personal favorite Nitty performances, like Ill Will, even K-Shine, you'll have some standout rounds, maybe 2 standout rounds, you know what I'm saying? Obviously even the Shine battle he chokes, but in this one, about 5-minute rounds or more, all 3. He's punching at his highest level, giving some of his best substance. I just think both of them were at 100, and Lux is 100. You know what I'm saying? With that pure rap, it was just a little bit above, man. So incredible battle from both of them. Obviously, their next battles and who they're gonna battle next will probably in terms of some of their, because Nitty's already booked for a couple. He's got KCJ on Kings vs Queens. We're gonna talk about Kings vs Queens in a couple of days. I'm not the happiest about it, but I'm very happy about this. So we're gonna stay right here right now, but. There's just big matches to build off. Lux and Hitman, something people were talking about. Some of you were mentioning Lux and Light. Stop. We want battles that are going to happen. Please free us from the shackles of Lux and Daylight, but would love to see Lux versus Hitman. As for Nitty, I see Verb and Calico calling him out as well. I think those are some great, last few resume filler battles and some legend battles that if he's able to once again bring the best out of another legend like he's done here versus Loaded Lux, maybe another special one on the way with one of those two. But no, it's a bit of a longer review, but a battle like this needs this kind of review. We're going over all the bars. We're going over all the details because I'm doing it once and I'm not doing it again. So, incredible battle, man. Shout out Loaded Lux. 2nd and 3rd round. Rum Nitty in the 1st. Absolute classic, man. And I can't wait to see what each one of them does next. But it's been J Smo Reviews again, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your winner and what you thought of the battle. I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. Peace.